Maintaining that long, slow breath. And then reversing back the other direction. Bringing your head to stop in the center and gently moving the shoulders. So rolling as high up towards the ears, drawing the shoulder blades back towards each other and all the way down. Really awakening the joints. Yeah. Sorry, are you hearing an echo?
Yes, something echoed then, Holly.
Yeah.
Is your laptop on mute? You can set it down the bottom left.
Yeah, it's on mute.
Okay, it's all right now.
Is it?
That was my dog sneezing, by the way. He was.
Okay, how's that?
Seems okay.
Is that better for everyone?
Yep, sounds okay to me.
Okay, great. All right, where were we? Finding the stillness on the mat, coming back to the breath. So we've just finished rolling the shoulders. Now we'll bring the left hand down to the mat as you inhale the right arm up straight towards the sky. And inhale to lift long through the spine, and as you exhale, bend over to the left. And inhale to rise back up to center, and exhale the right hand down. And keep flowing like this. Inhale the left arm up. Lengthen long, exhale to bend. Inhale to lift. And exhale, arm comes down. On the other side, inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale back. Exhale down. And the other side in your own time, in your own breath. We'll go once more through, really feeling your sitting bones grounding so the whole side body is stretching and opening. And the last arm comes down, and we'll take both arms up out, straight out from the shoulders, palms facing forward.
Holly, I've got a Wesley.
Oh yeah, that's my brother. And arms can come back, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. So really inhale and open the chest. And as you exhale, wrap the arms around and give yourself a big hug. So arms gripping hold of the shoulder blades behind you. Inhale to take the arms wide, filling up the lungs. And exhale, giving yourself a big hug. Really working into the shoulders. Inhale, drawing the shoulder blades back towards each other, opening through the chest. And exhale, this time as you draw the arms across each other, rise them up and you can bring the backs of the palms towards each other. Moving towards eagle arms. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, take the arms wide. And exhale, crossing the arms over, opposite arm on top. Drawing the elbows up in line with the shoulders. And exhale, we'll release the arms down. Just give yourself a little bit of a wiggle and relax here. And then bringing your feet together to touch in front. Draw your knees into your chest. Just give yourself a big squeeze and hug. You can bring your head down towards the knees. And just take a moment here to become settled on the mat, closing down the eyes. And taking your hands back behind you. We'll walk the feet a little bit further out in front. And today we're going to work into the hip flexors. So sitting in a chair or driving a lot can cause the hip flexors to tighten a lot. And it can cause a lot of back pain. So if there's tight or weak hip flexors, it can cause an anterior tilt in the pelvis, putting a lot of strain on the back and also a strain on the hamstrings. So it's a really fine balance in the hips between the hip flexors and the hamstrings. So we're going to try and strengthen and lengthen both the hip flexors and the hamstrings. So here, bring the toes in front. You can keep the hands on the mat here and then rising the shins up parallel to the floor. So really engaging the core here, but you can also feel the hip flexors start to switch on. You can stay here, whilst gently start to recline down and extend the legs longer. You really feel the hip flexors switching on now. They're eccentrically contracting. And then rise back up. And toes come back down. One more breath. Inhale, feet come up. You can lengthen if you want to go a little bit further and bring your arms out to the side if you want a little bit more heat. Otherwise, keep the hands planted. Lower. And rise back up. Toes come down. Do this another 2 times with your own breath. Inhale, legs come up. Exhale, extend and lower. Inhale, come back up. Toes come down. Last time. Trying to keep that V position with the back. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Toes come back down. Nice. Can everyone feel that? Hip flexors firing. All right. Just taking the soles of the feet together and knees wide in diamond pose. And just folding forward over the knees, over the feet. And back up, drawing the knees into the chest. And we'll roll back onto our backs. Legs go straight up into the air. I'm going to do some leg lifts here. So option to stay laying on your back. You all seen it? Yep. Stay laying on your back. Or if you want to engage the core and heat it up a little bit more, you can lift the shoulder blades off the mat. Otherwise, you can just stay laying. You'll still feel the burn a little bit. Okay, so legs lifted. We're going to one leg at a time lower. So left leg first, lowers down towards the mat. Inhale, rise back up. And right leg down towards the mat. Rise back up. Left leg down. Inhale to rise back up. Exhale down. Inhale back up. And with the feet at the center, we'll take them wide open. This time, as wide as they'll go, they'll just fall naturally. You feel tension in the inner legs. And then cross them over, bend the knees, and pull them into your chest. Bend the legs high, open wide, and then crossing over in the other direction. drawing the knees into the chest. Now up, open wide, and crossing back over one more time on each side. And then bring the knees into the chest. One more squeeze, and then plant the feet at about hip width distance. And just so you can tap the heels with your hands. We take a bridge pose here. So really grounding the feet into the mat. Hands come down towards palms facing down to the mat. And then we'll slowly lift, tilting the tailbone up off the mat, actually engaging the hamstrings. So try to loosen the glutes. So see if you can feel your butt and make sure it's not really tense and tight, trying to pull it up. You want to try and loosen that so the strength's coming from the back and the hamstrings to lift and push your hips towards the ceiling. You're here, you can start to walk the shoulder blades in underneath the back and grip your hands underneath. Really pressing the feet into the mat. All the weight should be on the shoulder blades and in the heels. And exhale, you can come down. Take one breath here and then we'll rise back up. Inhale to rise. Really slow, gentle movements. Exhale to release down. Inhale to rise up. Keeping your knees parallel. You don't want them coming in or splaying out. Try to keep them in one straight line. Down and up one more time and hold here. And exhale to come down. Draw the knees into the chest. Give a little rock up and back. And then come all the way over to land on all fours. So you've got hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, even distribution of weight. So feel the palms pressing into the mat, fingers stretch wide. It's really grounded. The spine is long and straight. And then just take some gentle movements around in a circle, warming up into the wrists, the hips, the knees, the shoulders. Maybe the opposite direction. Taking any movements that feel good to you this morning. Maybe moving in a figure of 8. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, flat back. Take some cat-cows. So as you inhale, take the gaze up towards the sky. Belly drops down towards the mat. Inhale deeply. And exhale to round. Chin comes towards the chest, pushing the mat away. Rounding all the way through the spine, tucking the tailbone. Inhale, take the gaze up. Exhale to round. Inhale, really opening through the chest. Exhale to round. 2 more times here. Inhale. And exhale. And keeping hands grounded, knees grounded, finding that stillness in your tabletop. We'll lift the right arm up so you can keep the whole body still as the right arm lifts, and then twist open, take the gaze up towards the hand. And exhale, take the right hand underneath the left, all the way down to the mat. So the right ear comes down, the left hand can walk forward, stretching into the right shoulder. And walk the left hand back in, pressing into the mat. Take the right arm back up to the sky and exhale down to the mat. We'll inhale the left side. So keeping the hips square, Weight goes into the right hand, lift the left arm up. Take the gaze to the left hand. Exhale, left hand under right. Left cheek comes down to the mat, walk the right arm forward. So you're feeling into the left shoulder. Walking the right hand back, push into the mat and the left arm lifts towards the sky. And down to the mat. We'll move a little bit faster with the breath now. So inhale the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, float it under. We're not going to stay here. We're going to move back up. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, under. 3 on each side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, under. Inhale, back up. Getting a little bit of movement. Exhale, down, tabletop. And then left side, inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale, back up. Moving with your breath. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, down. And back to tabletop. Walking the hands out. Come to Anahatasana or puppy pose. So the forehead can come down to the mat or the chest and the chin, depending on how open you are in your upper back. Coming all the way down and just holding here. Like a little puppy and being playful. Now looking forward towards the hands, rising slightly and maybe bring the hands in just a little bit. Really plant the hands, spread the fingers wide, grounding, putting lots of pressure here. Tuck the toes and we'll lift the hips to downward facing dog. Rolling the shoulder blades out and away from the ears. You want that real opening in the shoulders between your neck. Your head's loose. Walking out or pedaling out the legs. Hips are high. Really finding that length through the back. Pushing the hands long so you can lift the hips a little bit higher. So the whole side of the body lengthens. And look forward to your hands and step all the way to the top of the mat. Take the feet wide to the edges of the mat and we'll fold forward here, grabbing opposite elbows. Just a standing forward fold. You can take as much bend in the knees as you need. You want to try and find length in the spine. So it's more about the length in the spine and getting the head below the heart than it is about the strength in the hamstrings. And slowly on your next inhale, start to roll all the way up to standing. So feeling every spine, every inch of the spine uncurl and roll up to straighten, rolling the shoulders over at the top. We'll take some sun salutation A's. So we move through this slowly. Start with the inhale, the arms come up overhead. Exhale, we'll fold forward from the hips. Trying to keep the flat back as you fold, all the way down. Hands come to the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. So here you want the flat back, flat spine. Hands can be at the mat or to the shins. Exhale, plant the hands and you'll step back to high plank. You can be on your toes, on your feet, or down onto your knees. As you exhale, we'll bring the weight forward. So through chaturanga, you don't want to come from back here. You want to move the weight forward and lower so your arms are in an L shape, all the way down to the mat. Toes pressing into the mat. Take a little baby cobra. Lifting the chest up off the mat. You want to be able to lift your hands up so you're really engaging the back muscles here for the lift. Exhale, plant the hands, roll over the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Looking forward to the front of the mat, you can step or hop to the front. rising all the way up to standing. Arms overhead and down to heart. Move through once more. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift, flat back, hands to the mat or to the shins. Exhale to plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Stay here or drop the knees. Whichever options working for you this morning. Holding for one breath in plank. And then take the weight forward, bend into the elbows, lower through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. So the hips are still on the mat here. Exhale over the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Look forward to the front of the mat and step and hop to the front, rising all the way to standing. Hands to heart center. And this time as we move through, we'll add some things in. Going to work back into the hamstrings and hip flexors. A couple of lunges and hamstring extensions. So inhale, arms come up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back to plank. Hold for a breath here. And exhale as you lower. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog if you're ready. So planting the hands if you're going into upward facing dog. Tops of the feet push down, chest lifts forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, take the right leg high into the sky. And exhale, step the right foot forward to the front of the mat. Left knee comes down and we'll inhale to rise up. Low lunge. From here, we want to use the left hamstring and draw the left heel towards the butt. So without touching, just see how high you can get that leg drawing in towards. So you can really feel it switching on to lift the heel up and let it come down. So just try a few times. And then release. And we'll come forward more into the lunge. So hands can come to the hips as you lower the hips towards the mat. Just making sure the knee doesn't come over the top of the ankle. If you need a deeper lunge, you can walk that foot further forward. And then as you exhale, take the hips back, straighten the right leg and fold forward, getting the stretch in the right hamstring. So folding from the hips, try to keep your chest forward so the chest is looking towards the foot and the foot's flexing back towards the chest. Bending back into the knee, plant the hands, lift the back knee and step the right foot back to meet the left. Plank and moving through your vinyasa. Lower to the mat, upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. The left leg lifts to the sky. Look forward between the hands and step the left foot through. Drop the right knee down, untuck the toe and rise up. Here, taking the right heel towards the right buttocks. See how close you can get it. And release. Do this a couple of times. And then bring your hands to the hips and lower into the right hip flexor. Going deep into the lunge, you might want to walk the left foot a little bit further forward. And exhale, take the hips back, straighten through the left leg, folding over. Trying to keep your hips parallel so everything's aligned. Drawing the foot back towards the chest and the chest towards the foot. And slowing the breath down. Bending back into that left foot. Plant the hands, lift the right knee, and then step the left foot back to meet the right. Moving through your vinyasa, lowering the chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Stepping all the way to the top of the mat and rising up to standing. Arms come up overhead. Hearts come down to center. Move through this one more time. Inhale, rise the hands up overhead. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands and step the feet back. Lower through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Move your breath. Move in your own time. Exhale, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, lifting the right leg high. Looking forward between the hands and stepping to the front. Lowering the back knee down and rising up. Inhale to draw the heel towards the butt on the left leg. Exhale to drop it down. Hands come to hips, move deep into the lunge. Take the hips back and straighten into the hamstring stretch. Bending back into the knee, plant the hands, lift the left knee, step the right foot back. And take your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. Looking forward, lifting the left leg and stepping it through to the hands. Drop the right knee down, rise on up, hands come high. Draw the right heel towards the right buttocks. Exhale down, hands come towards the hips, deep into that lunge. Exhale, take the hips back, straighten through the left leg. Bend back into that left leg, plant the hands, lift the right knee and step the left back. Straight to downward dog or move through your vinyasa. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and exhale into downward facing dog. Look forward between the hands, step all the way to the top of the mat and rise to standing. Hands come up overhead. And then to heart center. I'm going to take some sun salutation bees now, so adding some chair poses and some warriors. So we'll take it slow this first round. How much more time? It's only 8:30, so we've got a bit of time. All right, how's everyone feeling? Thumbs up? All right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to fold. Sweep the hands along the mat, bend the knees into chair pose. Really tucking the tailbone under here. The feet, the knees, the hips are all parallel to each other. Holding here, arms high, either side of the ears, so you can sink a little bit deeper. Staying here, take the weight into the left foot and lift the right foot off the mat. Keeping the balance, take that right foot all the way to the back of the mat and plant it here. Take the arms back, arrowhead. So the weight is coming into the front left foot and you're on the ball of the right foot at the back of the mat. So from side, it's like this. So you're planting the right foot onto the mat. So we're not balancing yet. It's still on both legs. Yeah, that's it. And inhale, rising up to high lunge. Exhale, hands come down. Step the left foot back to meet the right and lower all the way down to the mat. Through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. downward facing dog. Looking forward to the top of the mat, stepping all the way up. And inhale, arms come up overhead, hands to heart center. Take a breath here, then we'll move to the other side. Coming down, hands sweep the mat, bending into chair pose. Finding our strength. Weight comes into the right leg, lift the left foot off the mat. Bending forward, we'll take the left foot all the way to the back of the mat and plant it down. Hands come back, arrow head. Finding your steadiness in our breath. Really pushing out through the back left heel. Strong in our grounded right foot. As you inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, hands come down. Step the right foot back to meet the left and move through your vinyasa. So chaturanga, come moving forward, bending at the elbows. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Coming to the front of the mat and rise all the way to standing. And then one more time through. Bending down, hands sweep the mat. Inhale to chair pose. Take the weight into the left side. Lift the right leg. Stepping it all the way back to the mat. Hands slip back, arrow head. Really focusing on the breath as you ground, finding that strength. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands come down. Left foot steps back to meet the right and lower through your chaturanga or straight to downward facing dog. Stepping to the top of the mat. Rise all the way up to standing. Last three on the other side. Inhale as you sweep the hands to the mat, chair pose. Take the weight into the right foot, lift the left, stepping it all the way back. Finding grace in your movement with your breath. Exhale, take the hands back, head comes forward, really springing off that back foot. So the heel's lengthening out behind you and the head's pulling out in front of you. Long through the spine, palms facing each other. Rib cage off the front thigh as you inhale and rise the hands up. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Move through your vinyasa, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Step up to the front of the mat when you're ready and rise to standing. Everyone ready? We can take one breath all together. Inhale and deep exhale. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands and step the right foot back. Take the right knee, right heel down in line with the left heel. And then rising up to warrior two. So arms are out at shoulder height. So it's heel to heel alignment with the back foot out on a 45-degree angle. The gaze comes over the front middle finger. You can check your back arm, make sure that's coming straight out of the shoulder. And then go deeper into that front left thigh. Making sure it doesn't track over the top of your left ankle. So if you're coming too far forward, you might need to widen your stance. trying to get it parallel to the mat. Now, keeping your legs exactly where they are, we're going to reverse our warrior to turn the front palm to face the ceiling and reverse it back just using the upper body. So the right arm comes down the back of the right leg, left arm up overhead. Exhale, take the left elbow to left knee and right arm overhead for side angle. Opening through the chest, taking the gaze towards the ceiling, underneath your right arm. Exhale, both arms come down, step the left foot back to meet the right, and you can move through your vinyasa, lowering down. Inhale to upward facing dog, exhale to downward facing dog. Looking forward to the front of the mat, stepping all the way up, coming up to standing. Arms up overhead and into heart center. Take a grounding breath together. Everyone inhale and exhale. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale to fold from the hips. Plant the hands down, stepping the left foot back. Turn the heel down, checking your heel to heel alignment, getting your stance prepared and strong, pressing in your right foot into the ground to help you rise up. Cartwheel the arms open to warrior two. Yeah, checking your alignment, arms straight out from the shoulders, making sure your stance is wide enough so your knee is not tracking over your ankle. And then turn the palm towards the ceiling, reverse your warrior. Left arm comes down the back of the left leg, right arm comes up overhead, reaching back, feeling that stretch through the side body. Side angle pose, right elbow to right knee, left arm comes up overhead, reaching forward. So you've got that long stretch all the way from your left foot right out your left fingertips. And exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step the right foot back and lower through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And just drop the knees here, take them wide to the edges of the mat. Toes come together and sipping back onto the heels, taking the arms wide for child's pose. Just letting your butt sink down into the heels. You might want to take your knees even wider to try and feel that length through the spine. And just coming back to your breath. Deepening your inhale and slowly releasing your exhale. And the next inhale, we'll rise up, lifting hips to downward facing dog. Looking forward to the front of the mat and stepping all the way up. Inhale the arms up overhead. We're going to take a couple of balancing poses here. Exhale to fold, sweep the hands along the mat, bending into the knees, chair pose. Taking the weight into the left side, lift the right leg off. I'm going to take it up and over the left leg. You can stay here. You can keep the right toes on the ground for balance, or you can tuck the right toes all the way around the left leg. You want to find a dristi here, something solid to focus on to help you keep your balance. You can keep your arms up, or you can take the right arm underneath the left and come into eagle arms. Bit of a challenging balance here. Remember, you can always come back to here with your arms up and your toes down, or take it a little bit further. We'll exhale, release, arms down and fold forward. Deep breath. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Rising all the way up to standing, arms up overhead. Hands to heart center. Exhale, sweep the hands on the mat, chair pose. Take the weight into the right leg, lifting the left, hovering it off the mat, and then bringing it up and over. Staying here, foot can come to the mat for balance, or tucking it all the way around and sinking a little bit deeper. The more you bend into the standing leg, the easier it'll be to balance. Hands can stay here, or take the left arm underneath the right. You interlock the hands. You want to draw the elbows up in line with the shoulders and pulling the hands away from the face. Finding your drishti, your point to focus on and concentrate. And slowing your breath. Exhale, release. Give yourself a bit of a shake out. Oh. Nice. Getting a bit heated in here. I had my heater on. I'm sweating. And then coming all the way down to the mat. Laying on your back. Now we're nice and warm. We're going to take a couple more back bends. So we can stay as we did at the start of class, just in a bridge like this, tucking the arms underneath, lifting the hips. Or option to take your block or the book with the pillow over the top or the bolster, whatever you've got, and take a restorative bridge version. So taking the bridge, taking a block or whatever you've got underneath, holding that up and just hanging here. All options, just depending what you feel like. Third option, if you want to take it a little bit deeper and harder, we can take full wheel pose. This is just depending on your body, and if you know that wheels within your practice, you plant the feet just so your hands can just touch your heels. Laying back on your mat, turn your fingers in, the palms come on either side of the ear, and then pressing the hands in and the feet at the same time, begin to lift the hips and right up into wheel. And just holding here, in whatever version you're in. And trying to find that peace and relaxation of the breath. Notice what thoughts might come and go. And just let them. What reoccurring thoughts are you having or holding on to that perhaps it's worth just letting go? Things that really at the end of the day are only causing yourself anguish. You know, being in isolation, being stuck in the house with either housemates or family can be challenging. Even working from home or whatever your situation is, all those things that can cause you inner turbulence. Notice what these things are, and then with each exhale, see if you can just release. So these things don't really matter. Just let go. Coming back down to the mat, taking your block out or your bolster or whatever position you're in, coming to lay on your back and drawing the knees into your chest. Taking gentle circular movements with your knees. Then planting the feet down onto the mat, keeping the left heel planted. Take the right heel up and over the left. So the right leg is coming over the top of the left, and then threading the hands through to take hold of the back, either of the back thigh of the left leg or the shin, and then drawing this into your chest or reclined half pigeon. So feeling it here into the right hip. If you want to feel it a little bit deeper, try to push your right knee away as you draw the right ankle in. And close down the eyes here, feeling your breath settle. And lengthening through the spine, maybe drawing your chin in towards your chest so the back of your neck lengthens along the mat. Feeling that length of line energy all the way down to the sacrum. And we'll exhale to release and swap over. So the left ankle comes over the top of the right knee. And then drawing the right knee into the chest, taking hold. The right shin or the back of the right thigh. Again, finding that length through the spine along the mat. And see if you can pull the right knee a little bit closer. And exhale, releasing the legs. Taking the left leg straight out, lifting the right knee in towards the chest. Shift the hips a little bit over to the right side of the mat. And then take the left leg all the way over towards the right, and your arms come out wide in a T. And take your gaze over to the right for a supine twist. So the right knee is going over to the left and your gaze is going over to the right. So feeling that long stretch through the spine. You can hold on to the right knee with your left hand. That helps. And inhaling, bringing that right knee back to center. And exhaling long, and taking the left knee in, moving the hips over to the left side of the mat. And drawing the left knee over to the right as the arms come out long. Slowly twist. Maybe with every exhale, you can get a little bit deeper. And take the right hand on top of the left knee. Gaze over the left hand. And coming back to center. Taking the feet high towards the ceiling, taking hold of the outside of the feet. The arms come onto the inside of the knees. The happy baby. So drawing the knees towards your underarms. And gently rocking from side to side, massaging to the back. Deepening the breath. preparing ourselves to go into Shavasana. You may like to put on another jumper or socks. Or put a blanket over you. Take any last movements you might like to take, rolling the ankles, stretching out the legs one at a time. And then totally release down onto the mat. So legs extend out at just lighter than hips distance. Arms out to the side, palms facing up. Might like to turn off the light, or if you've got to put a little shirt or something over your eyes to find darkness. Just seeing if it's a challenge for you to stay in Shavasana. Explore why. See if you can find enjoyment in the peace of just being. There's nowhere to be except just here, right now, in the moment. Inhale. Rise up. Maybe gently moving the fingers and the toes. Taking the arms overhead, finding that stretch. And slowly opening the eyes and moving to seated position at the top of your mat. Hands to heart center. And just acknowledging yourself and your body. Being thanks for everything it can do. And the willpower and courage it takes to step out of your comfort zone and try different moves and try a different class. And just appreciate yourself for that. It's already 9 o'clock on a Saturday and you've already ticked off one goal for the day, so well done. Namaste. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for joining.